Hello and welcome back to another episode of Lost in the Dark podcast. My name is Burton, and I am solo back in the crypt tonight. Excuse me. We didn't. I didn't have anything banked. I didn't have any guests for tonight, so it had been a while since I had done a solo. So I figured I'd take the opportunity to just kind of go over some stuff and that's been going on lately. Let you know. Where the podcast is at, some future plans we have, and what's kind of just going on with us, more or less. So first of all, one thing I do want to mention is I've noticed, at least on my iTunes, some of the more recent episodes aren't on there yet, or on there. I'm not sure why. For any longtime listener of the show, this is all DIY. We don't have any producers. We don't have anything. We had to learn all the equipment, learn all this stuff ourselves. And so when we started up, we did get an RSS feed, but we don't have like a host. And I don't have any way to upload directly to the RSS feed. For those of you that don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, the RSS feed basically is what you upload a podcast to. And then that, when you upload it to that, it uploads to like YouTube, iTunes, and any other, Spotify, whatever else you're on, all at once. And your website, if you have one, stuff like that. So, and you basically need an RSS feed to have like a YouTube page and stuff like that, or an iTunes podcast channel. So I don't really have like good access to the RSS feed. I don't have access to the iTunes information. I'm not sure why it's doing that. So where that leads me though is we're at a point now where we think we know what to do to fix the problem. The thing is it costs some money, so it's going to take a little bit of time for us to get there. But we think so that kind of that goes into what's coming. So over the next couple months, we hope to have that whole situation arranged. A new podcast. We hope to have an actual podcast host, be on a hosting service, and hopefully, fingers crossed, by episode 100, we might even start doing them on camera. So that way, those of you that watch on YouTube will actually have something to fucking look at other than a logo for however long an episode is. So hopefully all of those things are coming soon. I'd like them, like I said, I'd like most of it, if not all of it, rocking by fucking episode 100. So, which is at this point 9 episodes away. So like 5 weeks or so-ish away if we keep on this Monday, Wednesday schedule that we've been on. So yeah, fingers crossed. There's some things to look forward to, especially in that regard. Now another thing though that's coming up, and this is just personally. Now some of you may know, some of the listeners may know. Aaron's talked about it. He's starting a new job recently. That's just now really kicking off. So I'm not sure what his schedule is going to look like in the coming weeks. Not sure when exactly he will be able to be back, but everybody send your positive thoughts to his way for starting a new job. Very big congratulations to him. And then I actually will be moving first week of October, so hopefully sometime this month I can get some episodes just like banked, so that way I can put some out the week that I'll be moving. It'll be the first week of October I'll be moving. And I will be able to have a podcast area set up, and I'm hoping to decorate it in a very similar fashion to the crypt, just a little bit more, streamlined. I see some errors that I made that I'd like to correct in the new place. Hopefully I can do all that and then get us on camera, and we'll be hopefully rocking and rolling at that point. That'd be fantastic, and hopefully all of you will enjoy that as well. So yeah, that's just some stuff coming up, going on. If anything gets skipped or delayed, just know it's because we got a lot going on in the next month. but a lot of good things are coming on the horizon for sure. So we are working towards some very good things. Next thing I want to do is give a big shout out to Mike to Mike Chase and Alex from Bogwraith, and to Clint and Dustin from Recorruptor. Huge shout out to all of you for being on the show. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. Um, it's not often I go back myself and listen to these episodes. Anybody tell you, nobody likes to listen to themselves talk, or watch themselves on screen. You know what I'm saying? But uh, um, so I don't often go back and listen to these, but those ones I did a couple times already, just because I enjoyed them all so much and doing them so much, and they were all such fantastic fucking guests. I'm crossing my fingers, and we have tentative plans for many of them actually to be back on the show in October, and then some later on in the year, but all before the end of the year for sure. Um so hopefully they all are able to come back on, because I had an absolute fucking blast with those guys, and I hope you all enjoyed listening to them. Those are some of my absolute favorite episodes that we've ever done, and I loved it. I loved it, and so shout out to them. Another shout out, another shout out I want to give real quick is to the one and only and the great fucking Keith Wempler, the lead vocalist of The Convalescence. I did a review of their latest album on YouTube. If you'd like to go check it out, check it out. And he shared it on Facebook, and I cannot tell you from the bottom of my heart how much I appreciate that. That was fucking awesome, and yeah, like thank you for the share, and thank you for the absolute incredible album that you guys put out. Like that's one of the ones that I've been going back to quite a bit. So yeah, those are just some shout outs I wanted to give. Also, real quick before I get on to that, I am planning on having, I do have a buddy of mine who I'm actually moving in with in October. He is I'll tell the full story when he is on the episode, but him and I have been friends since 09 2009 2010ish, so 9-10 years or so now. It's been a very long time, and we know each other very well, and we've always been really good buddies. And the thing, like I said, I'll tell the full story on the episode that he's on, but the thing that kind of really got us, one of the first things that got us, to be talking, to be friends, really was an interest in the paranormal, and an interest in things like that. So as a result, we at one point in time, him and I discovered that a lot, like if you've ever heard of like the shows, Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, any of those types of shows, whether you give any credence to the show or not, a lot of the places that they go to investigate, a lot of them are places that you can like buy a ticket and they'll lock you in overnight, and you can stay the night there and do your own little investigation. You know what I mean? You can bring whatever you want to bring in terms of equipment and this and that. Like, there is like, a group there putting it on. They'll give you like usually when we go, it's like from 8 to 3, 4, or 5, 8 p.m. to 3, 4, or 5 a.m. And it'll, at around like midnight or 1 or something, they'll give you a tour. It starts off with a tour, and then you go back to the beginning. Usually they give you some food, and then they let you go. And you can go off in the night and in the building and do whatever, the location, and do whatever you want in terms of investigating. So we discovered that, and we went to every single one that we know about, I believe, in Michigan, at least up to recently. There may be one or two new ones that recently popped up, but we have done that multiple times. We've even traveled to Illinois to do one. Like I said, I'll go more into those stories on the episode he's on. But yeah, like, so that'll be in October. So perfect timing for a really good ghost episode, for someone who's actually like me, has gone to some of these locations. And yeah, we can tell you what we think. And you may be surprised. Put it that way. We've had some interesting experiences, and by interesting, I don't necessarily always mean paranormal. So yeah, that I'm really looking forward to that episode. I'm really looking forward to talking about those in detail with the person I was there with, to someone who can corroborate anything that I say, someone who witnessed it all as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm really looking forward to all of you hearing that. And I'm excited to finally have him on the podcast. I've wanted to before. It's just never really come together. But now that we're moving in together, I'm hoping to actually make him, just as much as a regular as Aaron or something. So that would be awesome. But yeah, back to where I started. Sorry, that was kind of a big sidetrack. I started that by saying shout out to Keith from Convalescence for sharing our video and everything. And that their album Monument of Misery is one that I have been going back to, and quite a bit. There's lots of albums that have come out, and especially this year has been crazy. This year has been so crazy. Aaron and I talked about it a little bit on the last episode. And, going into this year, knowing that we would be doing an album of the year episode at the end, I was really focused on metal albums. I really have not. We talked about on the what we have found or been into lately a little bit on the last episode in terms of things a little bit outside of metal. But honestly, that what you heard was it for me, at least, because the fact that I'm going to have to do an album of the year episode, I've been focusing solely on metal albums pretty much. There's been so much that's came out already. It's been pretty fucking insane. But yeah, so the one, but really, like, lately what I've been listening to, what I keep going back to, is the Convalescence and that Monument of Misery album. Like, it's really fucking good. If you haven't heard it, pick it up, because, man, it is just an awesome blend of melodic brutality, relentlessness, like just a fucking, I don't know, a fucking, God, I don't even know, like a like I said on the review, it was like a rampage almost, just a fucking ruthlessness. There's a ruthlessness to it that's really awesome. And when it gets melodic, it stays fucking intense, you know what I mean? Really great album. I enjoyed it a lot, and I highly recommend you check it out. Yeah. There's a couple more coming though. Definitely a lot more coming out this year. One that's already out that you know what? I think I'm gonna try to get that. I think this is the week that I'm gonna try to get that, and hopefully have that review. If you've never heard of them, you probably haven't. They just kind of like, fuck, didn't they? Maybe they messaged us on Instagram or something. Lost in the Dark. I think they messaged Lost in the Dark on Instagram or something like that. I don't remember exactly how I found them, but they're called Savages. Savagez. Savages, out of Brazil. All right. And they got a new album out called New Dimensions, just came out this year, maybe a month or two ago now. It's not, they're not a big band yet. And the album, it's available for download in the United States, but it's not available for hard copy purchase, which is how I get my album. So I'm going to have to contact them, and hopefully they'll be able to send me one. I saw that they sent one to someone in the United States already. I saw they posted it on their Instagram. So, yeah, hopefully I'm able to make that happen, and I'll be able to do a review for that album, because the few tracks that I've heard off of it are fantastic. If you haven't heard them, go to Savages on YouTube, look for New Dimensions. You'll hear some shit. It's fucking awesome. It's really, really awesome, fucking like deathy, thrashy, just heavy as shit, riffy as shit, awesome solos. Like, yeah, it's really fucking good. Absolutely love it. So check that out for sure. But yeah. I don't remember why I got. So yeah, there's a few more album reviews coming. There's a few more, and then there's that album of the year episode coming. So that'll all be fun. What have you? So that's what I've been listening to lately, though. What have you been listening to? If you've been listening to anything cool, leave it down in the comments below. Let me know if it's something you've never heard mentioned on the show. If it's just something you've been it's been making your hair on the neck stand up quite a bit lately, or fucking just headbanging every day on the way home and to work, whatever. Let us know what you've been jamming to. Don't hesitate to introduce us to something, please. We are very open to any kind of metal. We will give anything a try, and we'll let you know what we think, if you request it. Yeah, I guess there's really only two more things I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit. We've had some trailers drop lately. I haven't done a trailer reaction in a while. And, I'm going to be honest. There's a reason for that. Reason being is, look, like, I don't... Trailer reactions, for me to post one, for me to film one, it's got to be something I am actually genuinely excited about. And that's not to say I'm not excited about the ones I don't do reactions for, but there's like an extra excitement. There's some bigger thing happening behind it, whether it's, like the Netflix Marvel shows. I loved those because they were all connected and they were bigger, and I liked that world within the Marvel universe and all that kind of stuff. Avengers, obviously. Fuck, I can't. Venom is a good one because I fucking love that fucking character so much. I thought, when it was just trailers, it was looking amazing, and I still like that movie. I think that movie is amazing. I liked it a lot. But it's got, so you know what I mean? It's got to be something that really, like, has a very, I don't know, gets me more excited than just normal excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually gives me goosebumps. That's kind of my barometer. If it gives me goosebumps, I'll do a fucking trailer reaction for it. Honestly, that's my barometer. So these ones just kind of didn't. But I do want to mention them. I do want to talk about them a little bit because a lot has come out. First one I want to talk about is, of course, the new trailer for The Rise of the Skywalker. The episode 9 in the Star Wars saga, the final chapter, if you will, in the Skywalker story. This is the end of the saga. You know what I mean? The saga's always continued. Not anymore. Not after episode 9. Hold on just 1 second. So this trailer it comes in at 2 minutes 24 seconds. First minute and 17 seconds is all footage from the first 8 movies. Literally going through in chronological order of release. So it starts at A New Hope. Okay. So for me, here's the thing. These Star Wars movies, like, I like anything that makes me feel like a kid again. You know what I mean? With that same kind of like amazement, you know what I mean? And like just when I was a kid, movies were magic. Like literally going to a movie theater was like a magical experience. And today, like I feel as though we live in a golden age, and we're lucky. Not everybody likes the superhero movies. I get that. Okay, I get it. I understand it. I respect it. However, for those of us that do, a lot of us that do, grew up with this shit. Like comics is where we started before we found like metal. Like we were made fun of for liking comics, and then we were made fun of for liking metal and only wearing black t-shirts to high school. Like that's comic and metal lovers. There's a lot that is a lot of our path. Like that, a lot of us share that in common. So it's something that we literally used to get made fun of for, but like the metal in a sense, it almost made us like it more because it was something that was awesome that like only we got. You know what I mean? Like, so to live in a time where all that stuff is realized on screen, live action, taken so seriously and so well done. You know, man, like, especially for someone like me who grew up with Batman having fucking nipples on his costume, for Christ's sake. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I grew up with the 90s superhero movies. Some of them were good, don't get me wrong. Spawn, dope. Fucking early 2000s, we had Blade, awesome. Fucking, you could argue Matrix is kind of a superhero movie. Changed the game. You know what I mean? Like the early when the first Marvel, like real fucking hardcore Marvel movie was X-Men, which I still love. You know, so early on we had some, but those were 2000s. In the 90s we had like the Batman movies and a couple Superman movies, maybe. But it's really just Batman that I remember. Honestly, I don't really remember any others. So yeah, and so that's where it started. You know what I mean? That's why I was especially back then, I was more a fan of Alien, Predator, and Terminator. That was my shit. But so to have these movies like this now, or the shows on Netflix, or hopefully these Disney Plus shows, you know, fingers crossed for them. All this content, this insane fucking amount of content. Like it's awesome to me. So like anything that can take me back to being a kid again in a comic store, reading these stories, or going to movies like Batman or X-Men or fucking the very first Spider-Man for the first time, the Tobey Maguire first, Sam Raimi Spider-Man for the first time. You know what I mean? Going to that stuff for the first time. Yeah, the Star Wars movies I had, the Star Wars movies I had a kid were episode 1, 2, and 3. However, when I was a lot younger than that, the first Star Wars movies I ever saw in theaters were 4, 5, and 6 because they did a re-release in theaters. My dad took me to see them. So anything that can take me back to that is something that I enjoy. You know what I mean? I'm like that, you know? It's something that makes me happy. It makes me feel good. It's art that makes me feel something, that makes me feel good. And that's what I like. And a lot of similarities there to metal, to me. So having said all of that, these Star Wars movies, these recent ones, I'm just going to stick to talking about the saga movies. Episode 7, episode fucking The Force Awakens. Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I fucking loved it. Like, it did take me right back to that feeling. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like they captured that feeling, the essence, all of that really well. And one of the things I really liked about that movie is how much it's set up. Like, it really set up a really great second and third storyline. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many awesome things that it put into place. So much mystery. that we had to look forward to. And then the fucking Last Jedi came. And it's, look, the movie was dope. Like, there's a lot of really awesome things in that movie. What I don't like is how the director, Rian Johnson, seemed to pick apart the story that J.J. Abrams in the first one set up. Like, wrote off Rey's background, killed Snoke, never explained who he was. He was just nothing. Like, all this, what they did with Luke, you know what I mean? How they didn't, I don't really feel like they did, like, right by Leia in that ridiculous, space scene. You know what I mean? Like, like, there was just a lot that I didn't particularly care for. While I thought the movie was all right, I didn't not like the movie. There was a lot in the story that I did not care for. Now, side note, for anyone who saw that, if you remember how it ended, it went back to that weird casino planet they were on, and one of the kids, like a random little kid that kind of looked like a young Anakin, like force pulls a broom and starts sweeping, like a little slave kid. Rian Johnson is going to do the next Star Wars trilogy. The next Star Wars trilogy is not 10, 11, 12. It is not part of the original saga. He described it as taking place in an entirely new part of the galaxy with characters we've never seen before. So it's a whole entirely new Star Wars situation. All new. Who the fuck knows what the situation's going to be? So he's making his Star Wars trilogy all new. Nothing to do with Skywalker, nothing to do with anything that we've known. So a lot of people think that he used The Last Jedi to kind of set some of that up by showing us that and stuff like that. So that's just a side note. Anyway, so with this movie, Rise of the Skywalker, we have The Last Jedi and the Rise of the Skywalker. This trailer comes out. It's 2 minutes, 24 seconds long. First minute and 17 hours old footage. So we only have about 1 minute and 7 seconds of new footage. It's coming out around Christmas. I don't know the exact date, I guess. And I think it looks fantastic. These first two trailers that have come out for it have been great. And you know what? I'm actually just gonna play the last minute of this one real quick right now. Hopefully you guys can't hear it. Yeah, they show Leia, this fucking beautiful like fleet, like X-wing and battle destroyer, and then it shows our C3 with red eyes, and then a big laser beam, and then fucking hitting a planet, and then fucking Rey doing a fucking laser sword, a lightsaber spin, and then her and Kylo having an awesome fucking lightsaber battle on like a ship in the water, which looks stunning. And then it shows Rey with a hood on and a double lightsaber that's like both ends pointing in the same direction, and then they flip down to be like a double lightsaber like we saw with Darth Maul. Now, here's the thing. Here's my theory about this. That's the big scene from the trailer, right? Which makes me unbelievably excited. It means there's going to be a double lightsaber in the movie. Two major things about this. One thing that these new movies have done for the first time is recognize the cartoons, which I have never watched, Rebels and Clone Wars. Those cartoons from, I think, Disney Channel or whatever, those are canon to the films. What happened in those happened in the movies, because they all take place like in between the movies. The first time they were recognized in such a big scale was in the Solo movie when they actually showed Darth Maul with robot legs, and the first time when that happened was in the cartoon. The first time we ever saw a lightsaber like the one Rey was holding there at the end of this trailer, in the cartoon. So that's one note to make. Everybody's saying, oh my God, she go to the dark side, or is she just faking it, or this or that, or blah, 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 blah. Okay, here's the thing. Here's kind of my theory. I think Now, this isn't, I heard, I thought this, in fairness, I did think this, and then I heard it elsewhere. And I think it was probably from Kevin Smith or Mark Bernardin or something like that. But I did think of it as well. It was a thought that I had, because the fact that Skywalker was the subtitle of the movie stuck out to me like a sore thumb. That means something. It's the first time they've ever put a name as like the subtitle of the movie. It doesn't make sense to me. And then I was like, okay, well, what have the movie titles been? Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith. It's almost all A New Hope. The Force Awakens. It's always having to do with almost always having to do with the Force, Jedi, or Sith, right? Well, what if The Last Jedi was The Last Jedi? And we see that, and maybe it was Luke, because technically, I guess he died in the last one, technically. Whether or not he'll be back, he definitely will. But maybe it was Luke then. And then Rise of the Sky. My theory is that Rise of the Skywalker means Jedi. Skywalker is the new Jedi religion. It will become the name of the new Jedi religion post Luke's death. Luke dies, everybody's like, we're no longer Jedi, we are Skywalker. That's the new name, because the Skywalker family had such a big impact on everything. On both Sith. Maybe that's how they come together. Maybe they come together because they had such a big impact on both Sith and fuck. But anyway, so yeah, that's my theory. That's what I think is happening. I think that we're gonna see the rise of the Skywalker as the replacement for the Jedi. And who knows? Maybe as a Skywalker wearing a dark hood and having a double red lightsaber is something that maybe you no longer have to be a Sith to do that. Maybe that's what being a Skywalker looks like, or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's kind of where my thinking is at on that trailer, at least personally for me. So yeah, that's kind of that's what I'm thinking about that one. The next trailer last thing I want to talk about, they did come out with I think the final Joker trailer. I think it comes out in October, right? Like next month. But yet somehow there's already reviews of it. I don't get that. But I've talked about it before. I just don't like the idea of giving the Joker an origin story, because I think part of the reason why he's such a great character is because he doesn't have one. It's because he has many. There is no one accepted one. So, in this movie is not a comic book movie. They're not taking from any comics at all. It's a thing of its own. And, it looks good. The actors are good. I will go see it. But I'm just, I'm still kind of on the fence about it. I'm still kind of like, that latest trailer didn't spark my interest as much as I was hoping it would. But it just still does make me go, what the fuck is going on in this movie? And makes me want to go see it. You know what I mean? So definitely gonna. And yeah, I am looking forward to it. It just, I'm still, I guess you know what I mean? I'm not judging it, is all I'm saying. I'm not judging shit. I feel like as of right now, from what I gather from the trailers, is that this is not a movie for trailers. This is a movie you need to see and experience top to bottom. This is not one you're going to get. Not to say that the trailers are bad, but this is not one that you're going to really be able to express the tone of the film in a trailer. This is something where maybe its tone builds throughout the entire film, and you're not going to get that from a trailer. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where my thinking is on the Joker. I'm excited, looking forward to it, but the trailers just, you know what I mean? They're just not they look good, but there's just something. It's just the fact that I don't know what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? And I'm just during most of the time where I watch the trailer, I'm like, what is happening? I don't understand totally where they're going with this. And that's why I think that It's just something that it's a piece. It's a top to bottom film. It's a piece that you need to see in its entirety. So that's what I'm hoping for, and that's what I'm looking forward to. So yeah. Anyway. That's it. That's all I got for tonight. This is a short one. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. We got some, like I said, we got some big things coming here in the next few months. Next episode, of course, will be up Wednesday, and I'm going to make every effort. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Last week, Godzilla King of the Monsters came out on Blu-ray, and Preston and I have not seen that film together yet. So I will be going out there to his place, the Flint Crypt, tomorrow or the next day, probably Tuesday, to watch that with him, and then immediately after we'll be recording a Godzilla podcast. I'm very much looking forward to that. Hopefully that will be the Wednesday episode. So yeah, fingers crossed. In any case, be sure, please, to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, subscribe on iTunes, etc. Reach out to us. Please reach out to us if you have any cool heavy metal stories, you want to share any paranormal experiences. Have you ever seen Dogman? Please, for the love of God, reach out to us. I want to talk to you. You know what? Anybody listening to this I want to talk to, please reach out. Message us on anything. Any feedback would be wonderful. We would absolutely love to hear from you. So please, anyone listening, I absolutely appreciate it beyond words, and I hope you reach out. But yeah, that's gonna be about it for me tonight, everyone. We will be back on Wednesday with hopefully with the Godzilla episode. I'm really looking forward to. So that's it. Enjoy your weeks. I hope you all had a great Labor Day weekend. Have a great Labor Day. It's Monday, motherfuckers. Let's show this week what the fuck is up. All right, let's get it done. Raise your fucking horns. Bang your goddamn heads. I love you all to death. Good night.